Look, I gotta start with something that still messes with me till this day. Back then, I got prophesied over. My pastor at the time, Stacy Newell, looked at me and said, I see you with this mic in your hand and on stage. And I laughed. And I was like, wait, am I rapping? Please tell me I'm rapping. And she's like, dead serious. Like, nope. Yo, what up, fam? Welcome back to Unscripted Growth, where we keep it unpolished, unfiltered, and just plain real. Because life isn't edited. Life doesn't come with a color grade. It's just raw footage. And you either learn from it or you keep repeating it. But today we're going to talk about calling, and we're talking about running, and we're talking about why God keeps putting a mic in my hand. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let me set the stage. It's 1985. Just kidding. I grew up in Southern California. And if you grew up down there, especially back when it was, before it was all TikTok aesthetics and coffee shop vibes, you know what that means. It means you learned grit very early in your life. You learned awareness early. You learned how to read the room before you ever read a textbook. It's exactly what it was. Look, I'm a millennial, so I got the best of both worlds. I grew up with real consequences and real accountability. I grew up with some common sense. But I also grew up watching technology take over everything. Look, I remember the era where if you messed up, you couldn't just delete it. You couldn't just unpost it. You had to look somebody dead in the eye and deal with it. Deal with the results, deal with your choices and the consequences that came from it. And now we live in a world where people are more afraid of being uncomfortable than being wrong. Crazy. So when I say I'm not suburbs like I live now, I mean that, because the way I'm wired, I can't do fake, and I don't like to do soft truth. I don't do let's just keep it positive when your life is in flames and everything seems on fire. I like to do real. And I think that's part of why God keeps calling me to spaces where truth needs to be said out loud. I don't like confrontation all that much, but I'll debate and I'll run to it. But going back to the prophecy, I sat in that for years. It just sat in the back of my mind for years because I've always had this weird relationship with public speaking. Look, I remember in 6th grade having to do a science project, and I was at this new school and I failed the science project on purpose because I didn't want to present it. My science project was in the back of the classroom, and when my teacher called me up to present it, I was like, yeah, I didn't do it. I'd rather take that F than get up in front of the class and embarrass myself. I can do it, but I don't want to. You just can't say, I'll do it when it's convenient, or I'll do it when I'm fired up. I'll do it when it's my lane, when I know what to talk about. Anything that feels like responsibility, anything that feels like God saying, nah, you don't get to hide. That's stuff that I run from. And if I'm being totally honest, I've tried to run from this teacher thing my whole life, because teaching means people watch you. Teaching means you don't get to be inconsistent. Teaching means your life has to match your mouth. And let's be real, sometimes I just want to be a man living life without feeling like I'm always on assignment. Let me just be, just leave me alone. God's like, no, you can't do that. And he didn't let me do that for long. It's like every time I try to step away from public speaking or mentoring or leading, I get pulled right back into it. And it's not because I'm special. God's like, no. It's because I think that there are things God puts inside of you that you don't let to just live quietly. You ever feel that? You try to be normal, but you can't. You try to just clock in and coast it out, and something inside you refuses that. I don't think it's pride. I believe it's pressure. And sometimes pressure is actual proof that there's purpose in your life. Yes. Pressure reveals purpose. See, look, God blessed me with dance. I'm not gonna lie. I've been teaching dance for over 20 years. And dance has been a gift, like no questions asked. It's opened doors for me. It's built confidence in the kids that I teach, but it's also built confidence in myself. It's taught discipline, teamwork, and resilience. But I'm starting to realize that dance was the catalyst, but it wasn't the calling. Dance was this platform, but it wasn't the purpose. See, because dancing is what I do, but teaching is who I am. And not teaching like, here's the choreography, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I mean teaching like life, teaching character, teaching identity, teaching truth. Because I've seen too many kids growing up with talent, but no foundation. Too many kids with potential, but there's no direction. Too many kids with charisma, but zero conviction. Zero. And the world loves that. The world will promote you off your vibe, knock you off of your horse. But life will expose you when the pressure actually hits. So now I teach dance at my kids' private school, and I've been teaching for like 10 years. And listen, any chance I get, I'm giving these kids a life talk. Hands down. I mean, I talk about God, I talk about their future, I talk about discipline, I talk about what kind of adults they're going to be by the choices that they currently make. And I tell them straight. I'm like, yo, you don't get to be lazy and call it mental health. No. You don't get to be disrespectful and call it boundaries. You don't even get to avoid growth and call it protecting your peace. Nope. Because sometimes you're not protecting peace, you're protecting your comfort. And comfort's a liar. Let me just say that again. You're not protecting peace, you're protecting your comfort. And it's been lying to you this whole entire time. Look, I joke all the time. I'm like, I should have been fired a long time ago, because I'm not the traditional teacher vibe. I'm just not. I'm not the let's all sit in a circle and share our feelings type. I'm more like, look, I get it, but you're made for more. So stop acting like you're not. And sometimes these kids look at me like, this dude crazy. But I think that's exactly why I'm still there. Because curriculum is cool. It is. But impacting kids goes way beyond curriculum these days. And some of these kids don't need another worksheet. Actually, they frown upon it and they don't learn anything from it. But they do need an adult who can look them in the eye and say, look, you matter. Decisions you make matter. The character matters. Your life is going to go somewhere. So stop living like it's not going anywhere, because the world is loud. Your friends are loud. Social media is loud. Your fears are so loud. But sometimes they need a voice that just cuts through all of that BS and all of that noise with some truth. Not soft truth, not polite truth, but truth that actually hits like a weight in the chest. Ugh. The kind that makes you sit up. The kind that hits you and makes you want to change for the better. That's the kind that truth that kids need. Look, ultimately, this is why I started Unscripted Growth, to be honest, because I realized I'm tired of the polished Christian talk that doesn't even match real life. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of people acting like growth is aesthetic, right? Like growth isn't clean. Growth is just motivational quotes and morning routines. Nah. Growth is messy. Growth is crying in your car and still going inside to be a father. Growth is saying sorry when your pride wants to defend it. Growth is admitting you're wrong when you've built an identity around being right. Growth is wrestling with God when you don't understand the season that you're in. And the unscripted part, well, that's the point. That's the point of all of this, because life doesn't come with a script. Life comes with choices. Life comes with pressure. Life comes with so much responsibility. And a lot of the discussions nobody likes to talk about, those discussions are the ones that actually set people free. So there I am. Here I am. Mic in my hand, talking about who knows what on this channel. Talking about what God is doing in my life. Talking about what I'm currently learning in my life. Talking about the struggles that I have in my life. Like, we're just talking about what I wish someone would have told me when I was younger. I wish I had a mentor. And it's wild because this might not be on a stage yet. It might just be behind this desk. But I think that's exactly what my pastor, Stacy Newell, was talking about back then. I think this is what she meant. Mic in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm learning from all of this is you can run from your calling, but you can't outrun the God who called you. You can, because he'll call you through circumstances. He'll call you through your gifts. You know what? He'll even call you through your pain, and he'll call you through responsibility. So if you're anything like me, you'll try to negotiate. Like, come on, God, like, God, I'll do that, but can I just do it this way? Can I do it my way? And God's like, nah, not a chance, because we want the calling, but without the weight. We want the influence, just not the sacrifice. And we want to be used, but we don't want to be uncomfortable. And I'm telling you right now, if God is calling you to teach, to lead, to mentor, to speak, it will always feel not convenient for you. It'll feel heavy, but like, look, heavy doesn't mean wrong. It just means that it matters. And I think my whole life I tried to avoid the mic, right? Because the mic forces you to be accountable. Like, when you speak, people remember. And when you speak, people follow, right? When you speak, people can be impacted in real time. And I used to think that was a lot of pressure. That's so much pressure. But now I'm realizing it's purpose. It's a lot of purpose. So this is what I'm saying. Is let me land this plane that we're currently flying. Look, if you're listening to this and you feel the pull, you feel the push, that thing that you keep trying to avoid, like, that's responsibility, and you can't run from it. Stop running from it. The voice you keep quieting, the gift that you keep downplaying, that calling you keep treating like a hobby, like, hear me out, because I'm preaching to the choir here. Sometimes the reason you feel so restless is because you're not living in alignment. Sometimes the reason you actually feel irritated a lot is because you're resisting what you were built for. And sometimes God doesn't let you get comfortable, because comfort just would kill the mission. So yeah, it's crazy to think about. I mean, I just laughed when she said mic in my hand, because, you know, I was joking about rapping, and I was rapping at the time. But the truth is, I think God's been putting a mic in my hand my whole life. It just looks different. It looked like dance. It looks like coaching. It looks like teaching. It looks like mentoring. It looks like fatherhood. It looks like being a husband. It looks like conversations people avoid, like the hard ones. And now it looks like this podcast. To be truthful and transparent, I don't know where this goes next. But I do know this. I can't run from this any longer, because if God called me to educate and teach, I don't want to go to the end of my life and realize I spent more time hiding than I have been obeying. So if you're rocking with Unscripted Growth, like, share this with someone who needs it. And if this has hit you in the chest like it has me some multiple times, like, good. This might be your sign to start something, to do something, to put a mic in your hand too. I don't know. But that's today's episode. Stay solid, y'all. Yeah. That's it. Unscripted. Peace.